so much, 𝗖𝗽 sir, once again. Let's now transition to our next session, which focuses on CSR's key concerns around the capacity of different stakeholders. For this, we would like to invite Mr. Kumar Anurag Pratap, Vice President and CSR Leader from Capgemini. Anurag has over 25 years of extensive experience in CSR and community development. He currently oversees CSR initiatives at Capgemini India. Throughout his career, he has collaborated with grassroots organizations, donors, UN agencies, research institutes and corporates. Anurag excels in long-term strategic planning, vision building, change management and transition in the social development sector. He has authored articles on development issues and received multiple awards. Anurag is frequent speaker at academic institutes, seminars and workshops on social development and sustainability strategies. With this, can we have a huge round of applause for him?
Thank you. This introduction was not written by me. I can show you completely. This was when someone wants to what's called hike you up and try to extract something from you. The team sometimes write an introduction like this, which in a number of ways glorifies you. When I am standing here in front of CSR conclave, there is this particular debate or this particular, I remember one the joke which used to float around on WhatsApp earlier whenever there used to be any budget presentation. People used to say that if you want to know good about or if you want to understand what is good in that particular budget, go to this particular TV channel. And if you want to what is called know what is not there in that particular budget or what is bad about the budget, go to this particular channel. Same is true with sometimes the CSR conclaves also. So you want to know what all corporates have done in last 75 years or so, or since 2014, attend any of the CSR conclave. You will get that particular feel. And if you want to know what all corporates have not done yet, meet any of the NGOs after the conclave is over. So and that's where the larger question of capacity building comes in there, or I'll say rather than capacity building, where all of us hold each other. But roughly, in my opinion, I always look at CSR having key 4 stakeholders there. These 4 are government at one particular side, corporate at the other side, then you have NGO and civil society on the 3rd pillar, and then 4th pillar is other stakeholder, which will be like some service provider, product developer, consultant, advisors and all. Unfortunately, with all these 4 stakeholders, corporate feel that NGOs are doing nothing. And they have all the wisdom that they have. And when I say corporate, I'm not talking all the corporate. It's like the TV ad which says that 99.9% germs are killed by this. I'm talking about the same 99.9% corporates who say that NGOs are not doing what they're supposed to do. NGOs feel that corporates are not what they are. They think that they are. And corporates are not, I'll say, truly understand the spirit of what NGOs are asking for. Government feels that both of them are jhuta and they do nothing. Both of them feel that government is jhuta. They do nothing. And all 3 have a complete disdain to the 4th stakeholder, which is the service provider. उनको लगता है कि सामान बेचने आया है. They know nothing about CSR. They have I'll say no understanding of what CSR is or how CSR should be done or what is needed at the grassroots there. All 4 of us live in our own silos there, and all 4 of us feel that there is no one more important than us. Unfortunately. We have too many CSR heads who, in my opinion, they don't understand what CSR is. They have done a number of things in the last 20-25 years or so suddenly in 3-4 years, so they have decided to do CSR because this suddenly becomes very glamorous field. And they feel that they have all the wisdom available in this earth. Hindi mein bolte hain hum Brahma. So they get this particular feel that they know all. And the sense of arrogance and sense of, I'll say, I know all, I have all the wisdom, that you can, when you listen to them, you can feel that. Same is true with the NGOs also. There are a number of NGOs who feel that they have all the answers there. They are the only one who are deep rooted to communities. They are the Trunmuls. They represent society, and they have the pulse of community there. And then you come government, which feels that inke paas kuch nahi hai. We are the only one who are bringing in development. We are the one who change the development discourse. We are the one who bring in the development discourse. We are the one who bring in the development dialogue there. And in all these scenarios, I'll say the real committed one feels the pinch all over their body there, because they don't know whom to go, where to go, whom to meet, how to interact, what kind of question that they should be asking, and how to get those solutions there. And in that particular situation, where I was listening to Dr. Sena, these are those saner voices sometimes make you feel that sab kuch khatam nahi hua, there is still a few things left there, and you can pile on or you can build on to some of these realities there. Then the next question that all of you can ask is where to start. कहाँ से शुरू करें, किसके पास से शुरू करें? If you're looking at how to build a CSR movement where everyone is start respecting each other there, where everyone start recognizing that all the other stakeholders have their huge amount of things that they can contribute in this particular journey. And that's the spirit in which I guess the next 5-7 minutes we should be we should spend in looking at how best we can bring in these diverse stakeholders to understand and recognize, appreciate that everyone has something to contribute to this particular journey. And if we start saying that तुम्हारे पास कुछ नहीं, हमारे पास सब कुछ, जो तुमको पसंद वही बात करेंगे, जो आपको आप जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वही सत्य है, या if I am calling you, please come and assemble there in that particular hour, then CSR movement will remain a very fragmented movement in all possible sense there. Any question, anything which is bothering you till now? I was not informed that I need to make it interactive, but let me make it interactive as far as possible.
So, I think what comes to mind is that if we are talking about bringing together a range of stakeholders, is it that we go to them saying that we don't know anything?
Come again?
I said if we need to go to a number of stakeholders, because you're right, you're absolutely right that if we do not have a whole range of people coming together, this movement would not be as effective as it can be. But where to start? My question as well as one comment. Do we start with this process that, okay, let me first figure out what am I good at and what is it that I still require? That internal soul searching, if I may say so. And second, then putting forth that yes, this is what I can do, and let me be open to this criticism from all stakeholders, that what they can bring onto the table, and if they can actually also challenge my TOC. So where do we begin? I mean, we with this soul searching first, or we begin with this exposing ourselves?
Anyone else? I don't want to leave Dr. Sena all the time because he will take over. So, anyone else? Okay, the point is very clear. It's like you don't start with optimal ignorance there. You can't do that particularly, because it's also about an equal world that you wish to create. A table where equal people are sitting there. If you have someone who is bringing in optimal ignorance, you are going to completely run over that individual. So, if you want to have a mutually rewarding experience, then you need to sit where everyone has some amount of knowledge on things that they are doing there. But what I always believe that we need to start with the whole notion that the other individual who's sitting in front of me also understands certain things there. Other individual who's sitting in front of me also comes from the same society that I am coming from. other individual who is sitting in this particular table also has idea about what all is happening in the field and how one can change that particular thing. Their opinion may be different, their approach may be different, their perspective may be different, but to understand or feel that that individual has no opinion, no perspective, no background, no context, we are utterly wrong if we start any discussion, any discourse with that kind of thought process there. And that is in number of ways which in number of ways prevent the bridge or the rift which is there to get bridged there. Because we all feel you look into any conclave, any conference, any meeting, any seminar, any workshop on CSR, just look at how many speakers come from CSR background, from corporate background who are speaking there. How many NGOs will stand there on the dais and speak there? How many of the others, the service provider, tech provider, product provider will get this space to talk about their views there? And that is something that needs to change there if you really want to build in that particular capacity there. That's one. The second is creating a space where we start our dialogue with the whole notion that I know what I don't know. And that has always worked with me. Whenever I were going for any discussion, I know what I don't know. I know what is not there, is not available with me. So that makes me much more open to reach out to you to get some more content which will make me more complete as far as the professional that I am talking about myself will be. The second is the whole humility that the other individual who is coming in there, their opinion may be different from the opinion that I have, but that opinion may also be valid one. Because something which has worked in Goregaon of Mumbai may not work in Nandurbar of Maharashtra. Something that has worked in Bastar of Chhattisgarh may not work in Begusarayi of Bihar, which makes me no authority to say that what works in Begusarayi is not correct, or what works in Nandurbar is not correct, what works in Goregaon is only correct option there. That's one. Second is, कितना पैसा लेके आता है corporate? Overall, 27,000 crore? 30,000 crore? There are some estimate, guesstimate, or whatever made that you can think about. They say 35,000 crore. What is the development block budget? और एक तालुका का budget कितना होता है? Around 75,000 crore? 12 lakh crore? 1,45,000 crore? One Tehsil ka budget is 1,45,000 crore, and there we are talking about 35,000 crore, and we feel that we are the epitome of all the development finance that's happening in India. We'll have to somewhere, जब तक उसको किनारे अपने ego को नहीं रखेंगे, तब तक you can't start having a discourse there. That's the second one. Third one, all the NGOs who are sitting in this particular room, my request to all of you is that the world order has changed. No one is willing to read your 40-page project document. No one has the time to go through that particular thing. If you can pitch your idea in 2 slides, people will listen to you. If you have the articulation ability of yours to present your idea within 6 minutes of lift coming from 14th floor to ground floor, you will get that particular fund. Otherwise, you won't get it there. I was the other day sitting with one of the group where we funded a consortium, and that consortium was deciding fund allocation to different NGOs, and there was one NGO whom the consortium wanted to fund, that too on a digital penetration. And when I went into their website said under construction. I said that how come I'll fund someone for digital related work if their own digital presence is not there. So the NGOs also, I'll be very candid with all of you. You may think that there is no need to go on internet, there is no need to become visible there, but I'll tell you one thing very frankly, if you're not there digitally, you're not there. Aap nahi ho. When you write about our teams, who we are, about us, talk about who you are. Put a name there, put a face there, because we love to see who is behind that particular idea there. डोंट गिव मी कि विनोबा भावे ने क्या बोला था और गांधी जी ने क्या कहा था और अम्बेडकर का समाज कैसा है. Everyone is aware of that particular thing. We want to see कि ये राम, गीता, सीता, रघुनंदन, श्यामनंदन, अश्विनी सक्सेना, अनुराग प्रताप कौन है? Who are the people who are behind this particular endeavor there? उसको छुपाओ मत आप. And then we'll go to your Facebook also, please, and to your Instagram also, and we'll check your Twitter also. एंड अगर आप वो कोशिश कर रहे हो ना कि अपनी वाइफ का मेडन नेम यूज़ करोगे और अपने वाइफ का पिता का नाम इस्तेमाल करोगे और उसको छुपा लोगे कि हम लोग रिश्तेदार अंदर में कमेटी में हैं, देयर आर नंबर ऑफ वेज टू पता करो those things. So that's where I say world order has changed completely. So just be as honest you are, be as ethical you are, be as convinced you are about your idea there, and I can assure you there are a number of corporates who will fund you. Because I'll also tell you that whenever and all the serious CSR players I can see in this particular room, some of them I have worked with them, some of them I have known them, some of them I have spent time with. All of them look for, and all of them are looking for genuine CSR, genuine NGOs. They are still looking for. तो अगर आप genuine हैं तो maintain that genuinity of yours there, क्योंकि वही चीज़ें कहीं न छुप गई हैं, तो keep that particular thing there. That's one. To CSR heads, my advice to them is that, boss, the chair where you are sitting is very temporary there. ये आप इस तरफ में हो, 3 साल के बाद में इस तरफ में आओगे. तो बिल्ड अ रिलेशनशिप जहाँ पर जब आप इस तरफ से इस तरफ में आते हो ना, तो आंखों से आंखें मिला के बात कर पाओ. It will be very difficult for you if you have not treated people equally, to get treated equally when you move from one side to the another. That's one. The second is that don't ask NGOs कि मेरा टिकट आप करा दोगे क्या, मेरे खाने का अरेंजमेंट आप करा दोगे क्या, आप my father is traveling from Pune to Coimbatore, can you book the flight ticket for them or not? And you think that NGOs are not going to share it with other corporates? They'll share it. So don't ask for that particular thing. You ask your own board to enhance your salaries. If you are not getting the salary that you should be getting it, get that particular thing from there, because it's a very small world of CSR professionals there. We know each other. So stop doing that particular bit there. And there are cases where people have, I'll say, and this happens when you are not deeply rooted in the work that you are doing there. I always tell people that if you are really worried about the money only, then start a pan ka dukaan. That will be more lucrative than doing what you are doing today, because we, in all possible sense, are just the custodian of poor people's money. It's not my money. And there are tendencies of this. Second is, third is, I always tell people that be humble. The banda who's sitting there in front of you may not be wearing his proper shoes that you think he or she should be wearing it, but that banda is full of wisdom that you are not having. उसने अपना पूरी जिंदगी अपनी खपा दी इस community के लिए, and the kind of wisdom that he is bringing in is unmatched. You will not get it in any other book there. So please respect that particular thing. If you fail to do that particular stuff, the world will not be kinder to you when they write about you in any of the scenarios there. And I always say that wisdom doesn't come into a very lucrative packaging there. Wisdom comes in a very raw form, and you should have the ability to recognize that particular wisdom which is coming into you. भगवान सुंदर होकर कभी नहीं आते, भगवान अपने कलर में आते हैं, और कलर कभी कभी आपको पता नहीं चलता किस रूप में आ रहा है. Understand that particular thing. And to government, I always tell people that without their catalytic funding, your 1,45,000 crore has no meaning there. If I don't give you those 3 consultants which are needed to run your program there, आप चाहे जितना उबाल मारते रह जाओ, आपका काम नहीं होगा. So understand that the value of CSR corporates and the value of NGOs in taking forward the nation's or nation development agenda to the next level there. And the moment you value that particular thing, आपकी बहुत सारी चीजें खत्म हो जाती हैं. And fourth is for all the product developers, all the consultants, all the advice providers, all the product developers, your product are unique, there is no doubt about it. But your product is not going to solve all my problems. So don't bring in or don't try to thrust your product in all the given situations. जैसे नहीं होता है कि आप कहीं कहीं पढ़ते होगे कि नौकरी से परेशान, पत्नी से परेशान, दोस्तों से परेशान, इससे परेशान, उससे परेशान, जिससे परेशान, बंगाली बाबा से मिली. There are people who will be like, there are consultants who will be like, whatever problem you have, I have one golden solution there. So avoid that particular notion also. The moment you do that and start thinking that all of us have an innate ability to bring in the uniqueness of my thought process to develop something which will be unique for that particular given context, the moment we acknowledge and respect and believe in, the whole CSR movement will look a bit more different than what it looks today. Thank you. Any question?
Thank you very much, Mr. Pratap. It was really phenomenal to hear you. I have a question. I have always seen that most of the corporates, they often share the resources of corporate communication with CSR. And I'm not trying to say the person does not have the ability, but do you think there is a concern out there, especially when when they share resources with the CSR and COPCOM or some other? What are your thoughts on that?
अब क्या बोलूँ इस पे? I am like, people will do it. I am like, people will 700 crore का hospital with CSR fund.
But do you think like is COPCOM
it's not correct. If you ask me, then it's not correct. But the point is that that happens when you don't have a strong CSR head there. For example, it won't happen if Sarita is sitting there in her board meeting or Sakshana is sitting there in board meeting. I can see Richa sitting here in this particular room. If they stand in front of their board, it won't happen there. But it will happen if you are not very sure about the kind of products that you are, kind of projects that you are presenting with the board there. And board will push some of these agendas there. Or some of the other leaders will push these agendas there. If CSR become, I'll say, a strong body there, a strong unit there in the larger corporate governance there, this won't happen there. But the CSR still is a very weak body there, this will happen there. जिसको मौका लगेगा वो तो पैसा निकालने की कोशिश करेगा. If that is available, they'll pick it up there. I'll give you examples. There are number of examples there. I'm like, आप ये टूथपेस्ट यूज करोगे तो 3 रुपए जाएंगे गर्ल एजुकेशन के कॉस्ट के अंदर में, वो 3 रुपए नहीं जाते हैं. The ad is from CSR fund, and that is touted as or that is referred in the schedule CSR 2. It will be shown as CSR expenses on education, and the wider narration will say that educating general public about the beauty of girl child education there. This will happen if you are not strong enough to put your foot down to say that this is my money and I am the one who will be deciding this for it. Anyone else? These are hard hitting ones. These are something which I am aware that कहीं आपको बात तो इसने सही बोली है, लेकिन कैसे इसको मना करूँ, ये तो होता ही रहता है. So that's what the reality is, no? जानते हैं कि पापा घर में मारेंगे ही मारेंगे, बट जाके बदमाशी करनी है. तो these are those kind of realities there. The only change for this is to have CSR heads who are really convinced about the kind of work that they're doing and why they are doing what they are doing. CSR heads are not shared resources. I am not a shared resource. There are many CSR heads are not shared resource. Ashwini Saxena is not CSR resource, shared resource. There are many, that's why I am saying that, but there are not also too many. Okay, but there are many there, and there are people, just like there are not too many NGOs who are really rooted there. Similarly, there are not too many CSR heads who are rooted there, but there are CSR heads, and wherever you have CSR head who are really sure about what he or she is doing, this is not happening there. In my own space there, not a single penny of my CSR fund is used for communication there, because my position is, or my argument is that CSR, the Marcom budget is for overall company. CSR is part of that particular company. So if you want to do anything about communication of mine, this should be from the larger Marcom budget rather than from my own budget. That's the argument that I have always kept it there, and people, I'll give credit to my leadership, they have agreed to this particular argument. Yes, Marcom is not doing, for example, big data and insight, they are not saying that I have my com ka alag se budget hai. They are saying that my related communication of my work will be done by Marcom from their own budget there. So if they can say the same thing, why can't I be saying the same thing also? Why they are taking money from? They are taking money because you do not have the ability to hold it. तो पैसा रखने की ताकत भी तो चाहिए ना दोस्त. लोग कहते नहीं पुराने ज़माने में कि पैसा तभी उन्हीं के हाथ में रहता है जिनके पास ताकत हो तो उनको रोकने का. You need to have power to it. When I say power, I am not saying कि वो डंडा लेके आप खड़े हो जाए, but power to have the argument in a way that people can understand it. Yeah? ये घंटी बताती है दूसरी घंटी कि आप यहाँ से उतर जाओ, नहीं तो आपको भगा दिया जाए. Yeah?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your all valuable contribution. Please stay back, and I request Mr. Amit Rele from NeoMotion to please come forward and felicitate him.